I'd like to pick up on a theme that I was developing in a video that I uploaded about 3 videos previously called 4 Levels. And this dealt with a model of awareness, conscious awareness, that I think proves a valuable framework within which to build up an intellectual understanding of the perennial wisdom. And in that model, there are 4 levels of conscious awareness. To me, by me, through me, as me. To me, victim consciousness, everything is happening to me and I must react. By me, responsibility consciousness, let's take control of life and make it better, not worse. Aim for something meaningful and purposeful. Try to bring order out of the chaos. Through me, surrender consciousness. Give in to something bigger than oneself, the divine within. And as me, oneness consciousness. This is self-realisation, liberation, enlightenment. As with all such models, there are limitations, and some can be less useful than others. Some can make things more difficult, not easier to understand, but let's work with this one for now. And I said in that original video, 4 levels, that I might develop the themes in a little bit more depth, so I'm going to do that here. And I want to talk about the through me, surrender consciousness. And go into a bit more depth about what that means in practice. Now, in the first video I talked about this was letting go of control to something greater than oneself. So what does that mean? How does one even begin to do that? So this is a personal perspective on that 3rd level, through me consciousness. And when I'm suggesting that we surrender to something greater than oneself, I'm not suggesting that we look to a deity, something outside of ourself, and surrender in that way. That's not to say that that isn't a valid path to take, of course, but I did say this was a personal perspective. And so I would say that through me is surrendering to oneself. But the deeper self, the I before I am. So the I am is the story of you, my story. And it's a recognition that that is both real and unreal. And from the perspective of the I before I am, that part of me that is there before my story, the pure conscious awareness, that place doesn't recognize the story of me. Surrendering to that is, in effect, seeing through the illusion of myself. Recognizing that there is something within that is untouched by my story and what is happening. That would be the to me and by me consciousness, the victim consciousness and the responsibility consciousness. They're both operating in the realm of the illusionary self through my story. And so surrender consciousness through me is seeing through the filters of that story to a deeper, more enduring, essential self that exists. And that isn't at the mercy of what is happening. That place is already perfectly fulfilled and at peace. And so this surrender is surrendering your story, dropping your story even just for a moment or two, and going within and finding out what you are beneath what you believe yourself to be. And that place is pure awareness. That place is perfectly at peace and doesn't require things from the external world. It is the background, peaceful stillness that exists before the story of you is painted, before the dance and play of light and music fires up. It is the screen upon which the movie of your life is played out, and the screen is immovable, immutable, eternal, and perfectly at peace and fulfilled. So this surrender consciousness, the consciousness of through me, things happen through me, is moving into the depths of one's being. It is not replacing my story with another story of an all-powerful deity to which I can surrender. But it is still surrender. It is surrendering the egoic story, the idea of me, the desires and attachments, the fear, the anxiety. It is surrendering that story to the pure awareness beneath. And that pure awareness isn't me, and it isn't mine, and it isn't something that I can use for my own benefit. That is the egoic story. This is through me. This is allowing the absolute truth of one's being to manifest through this mind-body unit, through this person. And so it is surrender, but it's not surrendering to a thing, it is surrendering the thing, the notion of being a separate individual self that is acting in the world and needs to get to a better place. And then if you start to enter that surrender consciousness and you recognize intellectually at least that there's something happening through you, as I've said in many of these videos in the past, it does not mean to say that you are giving up. Quite the opposite. Things become more fluid and simpler, and you act, and the action happens through you. If you like the content, leave a thumbs up, do comment, and if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe. Thank you.